Second part. Preparation and discipline of the Gnostic medic. Rules for the Gnostic medic. 1. It is forbidden for the Gnostic doctor to eat any type of meat. 2. It is totally forbidden for the Gnostic doctor to fornicate. 3. Every Gnostic doctor must be saintly. 4. Every Gnostic doctor must be clean of vices. 5. Every Gnostic doctor must be married. 6. Every Gnostic doctor is obliged to practice sexual magic daily in order to awaken the Kundalini. 7. Every Gnostic doctor must practice the exercises of occult meditation and vocalization daily. 8. The Gnostic doctor must possess infinite charity and infinite sweetness. 9. The Gnostic doctor can only practice sexual magic with his priestess, her priest spouse. 10. The Gnostic doctor can never be adulterous. Meditation. When the Gnostic doctor submerges himself into meditation, he does it because he looks for information. Meditation covers 3 facets. 1. Concentration. 2. Meditation. 3. Adoration. Meditation awakens the internal powers and converts the student into a magician. Concentration signifies to fix the mind only on one subject matter. Meditation signifies to internally reflect upon the same subject matter. Adoration signifies to converse with the same subject matter or object of our concentration, to live in it, in the subject matter upon which we have fixed the mind. The mind must be placed apart from the world. Then after, it has to penetrate into the Buddhic consciousness in order to meditate. The mind must be fixed upon the consciousness in order to be illuminated. When the Gnostic medic meditates, focusing on a tree, he is searching for information from the elemental of that tree. He wants to know what this tree serves for, what properties it possesses, etc. The Gnostic medic receives information during the meditation. The best hour for meditation is the one in which we feel sleepy. The Gnostic medic will have to practice internal meditation daily. We achieve the awakening of the consciousness and the actualization of all our occult powers with the technique of meditation, sexual magic, and the power of the verb. 1 hour of daily vocalization is more worthy than reading 1,000 books of Oriental theosophy. True vocalization is intimately related with the technique of meditation. The syllable in is related with the tattva tejas, the principle of the fire. The syllable en is related with the cosmic mind, from which our mental body is only a fragment. The syllable on is related with Atma Buddhi, the purely spiritual world, which is the homeland of the intimate. The syllable un is related with the great universal womb, the archeus of the Greeks, the astral light of the Kabbalists, the supersoul of Emerson, Alaya. The syllable un is related with the tattva vayu, the principle of movement. The syllable in makes the hypophysis and epiphysis glands to vibrate. Thus, the sixth sense called clairvoyance is acquired. The syllable en makes the thyroid gland and the atoms of the mental body to vibrate. Thus, the human being acquires the occult ear and the clairvoyance of the mental body. The syllable on makes our Buddha, mystic or intuitive Buddhic consciousness to vibrate. We all have longings for liberation. We all possess that longing which is called in the Far East Bodhimanda, the fundamental base of knowing. Every Purusa intimate yearns for his soul to follow the path of liberation, or Dhamma. The doctrine of the heart is Buddha, the Christic consciousness. The vehicle of the Christi consciousness has its chakra in the heart. So, when internally vocalizing the syllable on and meditating in its profound significance, the awakening of the mystic consciousness is produced. Then, independent from the physical body, the soul acquires the power of functioning in her superior vehicles. The awakening of the consciousness, or Buddha, expresses itself as the eye of Dagma, the intuition which allows us to know without the necessity of reasoning. The syllable on also makes the testicles' hormones to vibrate, thus transmuting the semen into Christi energy. This clearly shows that the awakening of the consciousness, Buddha, can only be achieved by practicing sexual magic, by internally vocalizing and becoming skillful in the astral, since the consciousness, Buddha, is enclosed within our own Krestos. The astral body is the mediator between the soul and the intimate. Thus, it is only in this astral mediator region where our monad can be liberated. Here is where all of the initiations are verified. Buddha, the mystic consciousness, has to express itself through our astral body in order to perform the truth, which is nudhi, and which truly is the intimate or Atman within ourselves. While this mystic consciousness, Buddha, cannot express itself through the astral body, neither can it express itself through the physical body or stulta sarira, because the astral body is the mediator between the mystic consciousness and the physical body. When the human being spills the semen, reaches the orgasm, he loses millions of solar atoms, which then are replaced by millions of demonic atoms from the very infernos of the human being. This produces a tenebrous obscurity within the astral body. When the human being accomplishes with the following formula, which is to introduce the virile member into the feminine vagina, and to withdraw without spilling the semen, without reaching the orgasm, then the solar atoms multiply in an extraordinary way and return into the astral body. Hence, they fill the astral body with light and solar fire. Only in such a way can the Buddha, the Christi consciousness, express itself through the astral body. Finally, the soul and the intimate become united forever, thus bringing the final liberation. The human being becomes clairvoyant by meditating in the syllable in and in the great universal fire. The human being acquires mental clairvoyance and the occult ear by meditating in the syllable en and in the universal mind. The awakening of the consciousness and the development of intuition are acquired by meditating daily in our intimate and in the syllable un, and by practicing sexual magic daily. The power of telepathy is acquired by meditating in the syllable un and in the solar plexus. The power to remember our past lives is acquired by meditating in the syllable an and in the birth and death of vegetables and of all things. The clue of pranava, or the science of mantras, is found within the consciousness. The waves of the consciousness nourish the mind. The mantras must be felt, since all of their powers reside within the superlative fel of the consciousness. Therefore, before vocalizing the mantras, we must live them within the mystic consciousness. In, en, on, unan must be vocalized daily for 1 hour, like this. Tin. Pronounce the as in b-en. Pronounce the e as in end. Un. The r is pronounced as in fur. The 5 vowels I, E, O, U, A make the chakras, discs, or magnetic wheels of our astral body to vibrate. Thus, with the vibration, the tattvas are transmuted into hormones, since each chakra is a regulator of our endocrine glands. These glands are truly biogenetic laboratories, whose mission is to transmute the tattvas into hormones. The waves of the consciousness bring together all of the affine and harmonious thoughts in order to fortify them. Everything exists by AUM, everything lives by AUM, and everything comes into existence by AUM. Yet, in the beginning, only the divine chaos existed. The vowel A is the prime matter of the great work. It is the tattva of everything that comes into existence. The vowel U is the mystic consciousness, or the collective mystic consciousness. The vowel M, the M in occultism is also a vowel, is the incessant transformation and existence that the gods create with their mind. Let us clarify, in order to have greater comprehension. The earth in its nebulous state was A. Then, in its processes of gestation or formation, directed by the cosmic consciousness, it was U. Finally, when populated by all type of living beings, it was M. The embryonic germ in its first days within the maternal womb is A. The fetus while in gestation is U. The welcomed child coming into existence is M. AUM is lived by the animal. AUM is lived by the human being. AUM is esoterically pronounced Aum, as described below. The power of all the tattvas is enclosed within this mantra. The Kabbalistic number of Aum is 666, and not the number 10 as Cherenzi, the black magician, taught. In order for Aum to completely manifest itself through ourselves, we have to prepare all of our 7 vehicles. Aum contains the 7 notes of the musical scale, which correspond to the 7 cosmic planes and to our 7 bodies. The 7 words of the Calvary, pronounced by Jesus, give us power over the 7 cosmic planes. In order for the mystic consciousness, Buddha, to express itself as intuition through ourselves, we have to prepare our 7 bodies by means of sexual magic. Before self-realizing the mantra Ium, we have to live the mantra IAO. Sexual magic is I, the Kundalini is IAO. The formula in order to awake the Kundalini lies exclusively in the sexual act. To introduce the virile member into the feminine vagina and withdraw without spilling the semen, without reaching the orgasm. This is our axiomatic prescription for all the Gnostic students. During these sexual trances, the mantra IAO must be vocalized, then meditation in the fire and in the intimate must be performed. Ayum is pronounced by opening the mouth very well with the vowel ah, rounding it with the oo, and closing it with the m. The Gnostic medic needs to subdue himself to these rules for the wise exercise of holy Gnostic medicine. The Gnostic medic must be a magician in order to command the elementals of vegetables. The Kundalini. Kundalini is the fire of the Holy Spirit. Kundalini is a liquid fire of a purely spiritual nature. Kundalini is the igneous serpent of our magical powers. Kundalini is found enclosed within a membranous pouch that is nourished by the rays of the sun and of the moon. This membranous pouch is found concentrated within the coccygeal bone. The fire of the Holy Spirit and the Kundalini are the same. The difference between the Kundalini and the Holy Spirit is just a circumstance of names. In the East, the sexual force is called Kundalini, and in the West, it is called the Holy Spirit. Yet, it is the same sexual fire which is enclosed within the membranous pouch in the coccyx. The secret in order to awaken the Kundalini, fire of the Holy Spirit, lies in the following prescription. Introduce the virile member into the feminine vagina, then withdraw without spilling the semen, without reaching the orgasm. This is what is called sexual magic, and it is mandatory for the Gnostic medic to practice sexual magic daily in order to transmute his semen into divine energy. Thus, the fire of the Holy Spirit or Kundalini awakes with this prescription, because this fire rips the membranous pouch in which it is enclosed. Then, it ascends upwards through a canal which is situated within the spinal medulla. This canal is called Sushumna in the East. Such a canal remains closed in the common and current people. However, the seminal vapors open it and expose it so that the Kundalini can enter through its inferior orifice in order to ascend upwards through a thread which is situated in the center of such a canal. The opening of the orifice of this canal of Sushumna is performed under the direction of an angelic atom which is situated in the semen. This fine thread through which the Kundalini ascends is very delicate. If the Gnostic medic does not withdraw himself before the orgasm, if he indeed arrives at the spilling of the semen, then this thread is ripped. It becomes a burned fuse or burned wire, and the Kundalini descends one or more canons, vertebrae, in accordance with the magnitude of the fault. In Gnosticism, we call the spinal vertebrae canons or pyramids. Each canon is related with determined occult powers. There exist 33 spinal canons. When the Kundalini fire has already risen through the 33 canons, then, within the astral plane, the staff of the patriarchs is delivered to the Gnostic. The high initiation is received when the staff of the patriarchs has already been received. The high initiation is the fusion of the spiritual soul with the intimate. The spiritual soul is the Buddhic or intuitive body. When the Buddhic body is fused with the intimate, then a new heavenly man, a new master is born. This new master has to take out his psychic extracts, which are enclosed within his vital, astral, mental, and causal bodies. This task is really very difficult, and this is performed by means of the fire of the Kundalini. The first psychic extract which patiently has to be drawn out is the ethereal extract. Such an extract is called a ronsa. The master has to awake the Kundalini in his ethereal body, just as he did in his physical body. Once the master has made his Kundalini patiently rise upwards through the spinal column of his ethereal body, then this master achieves the removal of his psychic extract, which is enclosed within his ethereal body. Next, such an extract is assimilated within his Buddhic body or spiritual soul. This is how the master acquires the power over the tattvas, which will allow him to govern the 4 elements of nature. The very difficult labor of awakening the Kundalini in the ethereal body and making it rise upwards, canon after canon, just as it was done in the physical body, is performed under the direction of a specialist. Aronsa is the name of the psychic extract of the ethereal body. Therefore, Aronsa is the mantra which the new master must vocalize in order to awake his kundalini and to make it rise upwards through the spinal column of his ethereal body. Aronsa can only be pronounced by the masters, yet I have written it in this book in order for it to be a guide to the new masters who will be born with my teachings. Once the ethereal extract is liberated, the master has to perform analogous labor with the astral, mental and causal bodies in a successive order. All of these psychic extracts must be assimilated by the internal master in order for him to be self-realized in depth and to have the complete right to enter into nirvana. Then, when reaching this degree, the master is an omnipotent god, a majesty of fire, a sovereign of creation in its entirety. This is the science of the serpent. The Buddhic body. The Buddhic body is the diamond soul of the intimate. The Buddhic body is the superlative and ennobling consciousness of our being. The Buddhic body is the spiritual soul of the being. Thus, when the intimate is fused with his spiritual soul, the heavenly man, the master is born. The Buddhic body, or spiritual soul, has his diocese within the heart. Then, the heart temple is the diocese of what is most dignified and decent within our being. The fires of the heart control the kundalini. The kundalini, fire of the Holy Spirit, rises under the control of the fires of the heart. The ascent of the kundalini depends upon the merits of the heart. The path of the heart is the path of the intimate. Therefore, the path of the heart opens for us only with sanctity. We receive the cross of the initiation within the heart temple. We live the Golgotha within the heart temple. The infinite universe is a system of hearts. Therefore, the path of sanctity is the path of the heart. The diamond soul or Buddhic body must receive the 5 stigmata and be totally Christified in order to fuse itself with the intimate. The Gnostic medic must follow the path of sanctity in order to self-realize himself in depth. The path of the initiation. 1. There exist 8 initiations of major mysteries and 9 initiations of lesser mysteries. 2. To reach the great initiations of major mysteries is impossible without having passed through the 9 initiations of lesser mysteries. 3. I am very deeply sorry that certain spiritualist societies do not know how to interpret the maximum sacrifice of the martyr of Golgotha. 4. Samael Aun Weor, master of the Venerable White Lodge, is indeed very sorry that the students of certain secret societies never talk about the 9 initiations of lesser mysteries. 5. I declare that when arriving at the degree of a Sekha, or Hierophant of the 5th initiation of major mysteries, the following 7 paths are opened before the master. A. To continue with humanity, working for humanity. B. To continue within the internal planes as Nirmanakaya, working for humanity. C. To join the evolution of the angels or devas. D. To form part of the government of the Logos. E. To prepare the work of the future etheric age of the earth. F. To enter into the ineffable joy of nirvana. G. To perform superior works of nirvana. Samael Aun Weor declares that he was the first human being in the world who delivered publicly to humanity the secrets of the initiation. If the reader of this book wants to enter right now into the path of the initiation, then let him study and totally live my 2 books entitled The Perfect Matrimony and The Revolution of Beelzebub. All of the secrets of the initiation will be found in these 2 books. The 7 Serpents. We have 7 bodies and 7 serpents. Each one of our 7 bodies has its own medulla and its own serpent. These 7 serpents are the 7 degrees of the power of the fire, 2 groups of 3, plus the sublime coronation of the 7th serpent that joins us with the One, with the Law, with the Father. These are the 7 portals and the 7 great initiations of major mysteries, read Zodiacal Course by the same author. The Choanes. The Choanes are 7, and they work under the influence of the 7 planetary rays in our terrestrial evolution. Let us know them. The Mahachohan, the divine hierarch, directs the works of the White Lodge. All the archives of terrestrial evolution are in his power. The Manu is another divine being who has to form new races. There are various Manus. When a Manu lays the foundation of a new race and ends his work, then he receives the 8th initiation of major mysteries with the degree of Buddha Pratyeka, which signifies solitary Buddha. Then, after his 8th major initiation, much time later, he achieves the degree of Lord of the World. The 8th initiation of major mysteries is granted in the most divine planes of consciousness. The fact that I have previously spoken of 5 initiations of major mysteries, and now I come to speak of 9, will appear as contradictory to many people. Therefore, I must clarify myself. We fulfill our human evolution with the 5 initiations of major mysteries. The remaining 3 initiations and the degree of Lord of the World are of a superhuman character. Now, beloved reader, do you want to know the formula in order to convert yourself into a god? This is the formula. Introduce the virile member into the feminine vagina, then withdraw without spilling the semen, without reaching the orgasm. This is the clue in order for you to convert yourself into a god. Yet, to become a perfect saint is an indispensable requirement for you. IAO is the mantra which must be vocalized during the daily trance of sexual magic as so. Third guardian. We have said that the mind lives constantly reacting against the impact of the exterior world. We have explained in preceding pages that these reactions of the mind depart from the center out to the periphery. The mental center from where these reactions of understanding depart is a terribly demonic mental creature. This creature is the guardian of the threshold of the mental body. This mental guardian enslaves the mind of all human beings. All of those reactions of hatred, rage, violence, egotism, etc. depart from him. The Arhat must despoil himself from this horrible guardian in order to convert his mind matter into Christ mind. This labor is performed by means of fire. When the igneous serpent of the mental body reaches the spinal vertebra, which corresponds to the igneous wings, then the Arhat must courageously confront this tenebrous creature and defeat it in a terrible fight, hand to hand. Thus, after that instant, the mind of the Arhat only obeys the direct commands of the intimate. Another life, similar to the present one, is lived within the world of the mind. Therefore, it is not strange that in the world of the mind, the competent investigators find humanity dedicated to similar labors as to those of the physical world. The black magicians from the world of the mind are terribly dangerous. The Arhat has to courageously confront them and to defeat them with the sharp edge of his sword. The guardian of the threshold of the mind is the third guardian who crosses us on our path.